Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 571 based on novel. So let's start. Wang Lin wasn't surprised at all, as if he knew this voice would appear. After the voice appeared, Wang Lin turned around. As the snow fell, a white-haired old man in a Daoist robe was sitting in the snow and looking at him. This old man seemed to have been here for a long time, waiting for Wang Lin. It was as if he knew that Wang Lin would appear here when he used spatial bending in the earth-fire vein. His eyes were clear and contained endless wisdom. He looked at Wang Lin as if he could see through Wang Lin's mind. The moment he looked at Wang Lin was also absorbing the old man. His pupils suddenly shrank but quickly returned to normal. This old man's eyes revealed essence. This was not his original body but an essence true body. This was Wang Lin's first time seeing another essence true body beside his own. The identity of this old man was obvious at this point. Junior greets esteemed Green Bull. Wang Lin still looked calm as he clasped his hands. Esteemed Green Bull's essence true body looked at Wang Lin and slowly said, "Reveal your essence true body, let this old man see." Wang Lin raised his eyebrow and the fire in his left eye flashed. A shadow appeared behind him and turned into his essence true body. It looked exactly the same as Wang Lin and started at esteemed Green Bull's essence true body. As the two essence true bodies looked at each other, esteemed Green Bull's essence true body stood up. A terrifying aura spread out and shrouded the heavenly mountain. The blue snow was blown away by the howling wind. Indeed an essence true body. In my life, aside from myself, you are the third person I've seen with an essence true body. Wang Lin silently pondered and didn't speak. Esteemed Green Bull's essence body suddenly said, "Your name is Wang Lin." Wang Lin still remained calm, as if he wasn't surprised about the fact that this old man knew his name. Fan Shanmeng knew him, so it wasn't a surprise the old ancestor of the Great Soul sect knew his name. Wang Lin calmly said, "It's me. Those who walk out from the cave world are indeed not simple." Esteemed Green Bull essence true body let out a sigh. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he asked, "I wonder, what essence formed Senior's essence true body?" Esteemed Green Bull's essence true body smiled. He didn't feel irritated at Wang Lin's question but smiled. This old man's essence true body is formed from the cold essence. It's coldness, not water. Do you understand? Wang Lin frowned and carefully looked at the old man's essence true body for a long time before speaking. Coldness is an aura and water is physical. Esteemed Green Bull smiled and looked at Wang Lin with unabashed admiration. "I knew the moment you entered the Great Soul sect formation. I watched you enter the Red Mountain, I watched you meet with Fan Shanlu, I watched you absorb the main earth fire vein. You have formed this fire essence true body in my Great Soul sect, so that means you and my Great Soul sect are fated. Since we are fated, there is no need to leave in a rush. Wang Lin, become an elder in my Great Soul sect. How about it?" Wang Lin's eyes lit up, but he didn't speak. Esteemed Green Bull's true body looked at Wang Lin and said, "On the immortal astral continent, unless you create a sect yourself, you need to ally with a sect in order to grow. You can reject the offer, but sooner or later, you will face this choice. My Great Soul sect is one of the 9 sects and 13 factions of the Eastern continent. Become an elder of my sect and I'll give you your own peak and cave. Everything you need, the Great Soul sect will supply, and as long as you reach the requirements, you can learn any of the Dao spells of the Great Soul sect. How about it?" What the esteemed Green Bull had said was very alluring. He didn't threaten Wang Lin and completely ignored the fact that Wang Lin had destroyed the earth fire vein, fought with that woman in the earth vein, and caused a huge fire in the Great Soul sect. But the more he ignored these things and seemed to not care, the more Wang Lin understood the invisible pressure. However, Wang Lin's expression remained neutral and his heart was calm. He had long made speculations on everything that could happen after he entered the Great Soul sect. This naturally included precautions against esteemed Green Bull. When Wang Lin sat, the other party hadn't come with their real body but only their essence true body. Wang Lin had already guessed his true intent. To use the essence true body to tempt Wang Lin's heart. Everything that had been said was just the warm-up, the real offer hasn't been laid out yet. Seeing that Wang Lin was still pondering, esteemed Green Bull's true body smiled and spoke once more. Also, this old man will be the most helpful person to you because we both have essence true bodies. I can tell you the secret of the essence true body. Wang Lin was waiting for this and his eyes suddenly narrowed. However, he remained silent and didn't refuse or agree. He looked at esteemed Green Bull's essence true body. I will give you 1 incense stick of time to think. Esteemed Green Bull waved his hand and the surrounding snow gathered to form an incense stick. This incense stick silently burned and slowly melted. It was no different from a real incense stick. Time slowly passed. Shortly after, only half the snow incense stick remained, and Wang Lin suddenly spoke. How did you know I would appear here after leaving? My great soul sect has a Dao spell named Soul I Dao. This spell can divinate a lot of things. There are many people on the immortal astral continent, and among them, there are many ways to divinate. In my celestial clan, the imperial teacher in the imperial capital is number 1. With the power of one person, in terms of divination, he could match the 3 imperial teachers of the 3 ancient countries. My great soul sect Soul I Dao is but a glimpse at the path of divination. It does not focus on divinating others, but changes oneself to make it difficult for others to divinate you. If you want to learn it, I can teach you. Time is about up, I'm waiting for your decision. Esteemed Green Bull's real body smiled as he spoke. Wang Lin looked at the snow incense stick without much time remaining and his eyes lit up. He took a step back and his essence true body also took a step. Ripples echoed and he disappeared from the heavenly mountain. His sudden movement wasn't stopped by the esteemed Green Bull, not even his expression changed. He saw Wang Lin disappear and slightly shook his head. If you are really the person the ancestor talked about when he chose to build the Great Soul sect on the main earth fire vein, then you will return before the snow incense stick finishes burning. I have the spell and information you need, but if you don't return, then you're not so. As he muttered, he closed his eyes. Not much of the snow incense stick remained, it slowly melted. Far away from the heavenly mountain, place in the heavenly bull continent that would take Wang Lin 1 month to fly to, there was a mountain covered in a green forest. Ripples echoed in the sky and Wang Lin walked out. Mountains filled the area, and they were all irregularly shaped. The mountain range was dense and endless, a classic type of terrain found in the heavenly bull continent. Soul I Dao. Whether this spell really exists, I can simply test it to find out. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he looked around. He didn't notice any anomalies. Although there were many living things nearby, none of them were a threat to him. The wind here was strong, and when it blew into the forest on the mountains, it caused the leaves to create a wonderful sound. Wang Lin turned around and was about to leave, but his body trembled as he had if he vaguely spotted something. He suddenly looked down at the mountain range below. The earth was very ordinary, as if there was nothing wrong. But Wang Lin's pupils suddenly shrank and the feeling of all his hair standing up appeared. He waved his hand and a gust of wind blew across the mountains, causing the trees to sway. In the blink of an eye, the mountain and the swaying trees seemed to form a word. This word was very simple, it was a Wang. After pondering for a long time, Wang Lin's eyes revealed a strange light and he merged with the world once more. When he reappeared, he was far away, near the Blue Dragon sect. Wang Lin had been here before. This was where he had absorbed the first child vein and where he had encountered Du Qing. The location that formed Wang is somewhere I've never been to before. There are many ways to explain why a word would appear there. Now I'm going to a place I have been to before. I want to see if a miracle can really happen. Wang Lin appeared in the sky and looked below. However, what he saw caused his body to tremble. His mind rumbled as he stared at the earth. Due to the withering of the earth fire vein, cracks had appeared on the earth, and the cracks formed the word Lin. One had to look from above to see the word Lin. After looking for a long time, Wang Lin closed his eyes. He was sure that all the cracks had just appeared here and were not changed by anyone. This meant that these cracks had all appeared naturally. While pondering, Wang Lin disappeared. This time he didn't choose a target, He moved unconsciously. He didn't know where he was going. He appeared in the sky above a random part of the heavenly bull continent. Wang Lin's divine sense spread out and he no longer saw the earth writing out any more words. Beneath him was a curved river, and this river looked very common. It was not in the form of any word. Wang Lin seemed to relax, but soon his expression became serious. He saw the remains of an ancient, stone bridge that used to be here a long time ago. It had already collapsed, and only the parts on the shore still remained. There was a stone tablet that seemed to have the name of the bridge written on it. In a flash, Wang Lin landed next to the stone tablet, and after taking a look, his body trembled violently. "Return bridge," Wang Lin muttered. "Wang Lin return." These 3 words seemed to be made of bolts of thunder, and they flashed in Wang Lin's mind. This caused him to retreat several steps from the broken bridge. Wang Lin's expression became uncertain as he looked at the broken stone tablet, and his gaze gradually became cold. Interesting. I didn't expect to encounter such an interesting thing on the immortal astral continent. Divination that calculates the flow of time. This divination method is really interesting. Is the Great Soul Sect fated with me? Wang Lin thought about this for a moment. I don't know what I might encounter if I teleport a few more times, but there is no need to try. Whether it was esteemed Green Bull or a powerful ancestor from countless years ago, someone divinated the fact that I would come to the Great Soul Sect and absorb the main Earth Fire vein. The fact that they waited here for me means that they want to form a relationship with me. Wang Lin pondered for a moment and suddenly smiled. This plan is very easy to break, but why should I break it? The Great Soul Sect wants me to become an elder and I want to borrow the Great Soul Sect to learn more about the immortal astral continent. Wang Lin retreated a step. Ripples echoed and he disappeared. The blue snow fell on the heavenly mountain as if it would never get tired. The snow in the mountain was hit by the sunlight. The light spread out and gave off an indescribable feeling that connected the earth and the heavens. Esteemed Green Bull's essence true body was sitting in the snow. His hair didn't move at all under the wind. It was very strange. Before him, the incense stick formed by snow was slowly melting. Only a small portion remained. It wouldn't take long for it to completely melt. Time unknowingly passed like this. Just as the snow incense stick completely melted, a vortex formed and Wang Lin walked out. The moment he landed on the mountain peak, the snow incense stick melted to nothing. You've returned. Esteemed Green Bull's essence true body opened his eyes and smiled. This is the soul eye spell. Esteemed Green Bull's essence true body raised his right hand and grasped the void. A purple jade appeared in his hand. This jade gave off an ancient aura, as if it had existed for far too long. He waved his hand and threw the jade at Wang Lin without even waiting for Wang Lin's response. Wang Lin grabbed the jade and swept it with his divine sense. He calmly put the jade away. Let's go, we'll return to the Great Soul Sect. Esteemed Green Bull stood up and wiped the snow from his essence true body. He stepped forward and a 3-foot cloud appeared under his feet. The cloud was made of gas and looked like a swirl of rapidly moving air. Esteemed Green Bull stepped on the curd and rapidly moved forward. Wang Lin's expression remained calm and he stepped forward. He didn't merge with the world but turned into a ray of light to follow Esteemed Green Bull. They both moved very fast and disappeared over the horizon. There were many main peaks in the Great Soul Sect. The red mountain connected to the main earth vein was just one of them. If one looked from above, one would see endless mountains and peaks that pierced the sky. Some were surrounded by fog and extremely gloomy. Some were even surrounded by a giant, ghostly face that let out silent howls that turned into ripples that circled the area. A total of 360 main peaks formed the Great Soul Sect's roots. Some main peaks were very far apart and some were close. The valleys in each mountain range contained countless gorgeous pavilions, temples, squares, and caves. The Great Soul Sect's 100,000 disciples lived in these valleys and cultivated a lot of different cultivation methods. The Great Soul Sect had a lot of spells. Aside from those that were passed down after destroying countless sects over the years, they had a lot of spells that the disciples could learn now. At this moment, the Red Mountain had changed completely. It was no longer red and was now dark purple. There were many cracks, and it was in a sorry state. The young woman who owned the mountain was named Yang Lu. She looked gloomy and her hair was slightly scattered. There was a hidden anger in her that could erupt at any time. The moment Wang Lin, an esteemed green bull, appeared in the horizon, Yang Lu looked over. Her gaze became cold and her face was filled with killing intent. All disciples of the Flame Vein Mountain, listen to my order and follow teacher to kill the thief that destroyed my peak. Yang Lu turned into a ray of light and flew forward with more than a dozen core disciples following her. This included Fan Shanmeng and Fan Shanlu. At a glance, this group of teacher and disciples were all women, and they were all very beautiful. They took the shape of a phoenix as they flew forward and appeared before Wang Lin, an esteemed green bull. After returning to the Great Soul sect, Wang Lin's expression remained the same, but his emotions were very different. He had snuck in when he first entered, but the second time, he had come through the front door. He didn't speak with esteemed green bull along the way. Seeing the Great Soul sect, esteemed green bull was about to speak but suddenly frowned. Wang Lin also noticed the giant phoenix flying out from the Great Soul sect. This young woman was very beautiful, but she was filled with killing intent. She was the owner of the main earth fire vein, that one that had chased Wang Lin underground. Little thief, you destroyed my mountain. I won't let this matter go. The young woman simply didn't give esteemed green bull time to speak at all. With her cultivation level, how could she not see the problem? The old ancestor had brought Wang Lin back, but not as a prison, more as a guest. She said this immediately so that even though it was the old ancestor, he would have to give her an explanation. After all, she was an elder of the Great Soul sect. Not only was Yang Lu beautiful, she was also very cunning. She hadn't just come out herself but brought all her core disciples. If the old ancestor protected Wang Lin, it would be the same as giving up her faction. If her disciples saw this, she would be forced to leave the Great Soul sect. This was the same as burning a bridge. In addition, Yang Lu had caused the phoenix shadow to appear immediately, and this shadow was very large. This immediately caused a big commotion within the Great Soul sect. This commotion was not for the old ancestor, but to attract her friends and the elders of the other main peaks. They all flew out from their respective peaks. Such behavior meant putting this matter into the public view. She was also on the right, which made it difficult for the old ancestor to choose a side on this matter. Yang Lu's actions contained so many intents, showing that she was extraordinary. As she charged forward, powerful auras came from the peaks of the Great Soul sect, and they all flew toward this location. Those figures had varying cultivation levels. The strongest was at the early stage of Void Turbulent and the weakest was still at Spirit Void. I thank the ancestor for capturing this little thief. Little thief, I want to see where you will run this time. Yang Lu suddenly charged at Wang Lin. He saw the beautiful woman turn into the head of a phoenix, and its giant beak closed in on him. From far away, it looked like a fiery phoenix devouring the heavens. The aura of a Void Turbulent cultivator erupted from the phoenix, but the cultivation seemed a bit unstable and ready to fall. The beautiful young woman was obviously injured by Wang Lin's various attacks from before. In addition, she was heartbroken by the state of the mountain and filled with rage that injured her mind when Wang Lin had reappeared before her. Wang Lin's eyes shined brightly. Rather than retreating, he let out a laugh that spread in all directions. Since he had decided to join the Great Soul sect and become a Great Soul sect elder, then he needed to display his might. The old ancestor of the Great Soul sect knew that Wang Lin came from the cave world and had to know of his ancient Dao bloodline, so there was no need for Wang Lin to hold back. As for how to cover it up, it was something for the old ancestor to decide. After making a decision, Wang Lin stepped forward and raised his right hand. He formed a fist and threw a punch at the void. God tremble, army formation. This punch landed in the sky, causing the sky to rumble and distort. A giant vortex formed and rapidly rotated. The world seemed to rotate, everything seemed to rotate, but only Wang Lin remained unmoving. The moment the vortex appeared and the world began to turn, Yang Lu's phoenix was pulled in. The phoenix seemed like it was going to collapse due to the distortion. When Wang Lin had used this spell against Old Ghost John was at the early stage of Void Turbulent. Now that Wang Lin was using it again, it was equally shocking. The moment this spell appeared, the expressions of all the Great Soul Sect elders changed. Even Yang Lu's pupils shrank. She had fought Wang Lin for a couple of rounds but had never seen Wang Lin use this spell. Ancient Dao Aura. This is the aura of a cultivator from the ancient countries. This person is not a cultivator of my celestial clan. He is someone from the ancient countries. Esteemed Green Bull frowned and waved his right hand with a sigh. A powerful force shrouded this area and covered up Wang Lin's ancient Dao aura so the others couldn't feel it. Demonic spell, the fiery wind turns into a mountain. As Wang Lin stood there, his white hair fluttered, making him look majestic. He opened his hand to form a palm and waved. With this wave, the phoenix shadow around Yang Lu collapsed. Fiery wind came out of the distortion and formed 8 pillars of smoke around Wang Lin. Miserable howls came from the smoke pillars and shrouded the area. Those 8 pillars of smoke weren't stationary but rotated around Wang Lin like a storm. They flew out toward Yang Lu and surrounded her. Thunderous rumbles echoed across the land. The surrounding Great Soul Sect elders saw all of this and became serious. Wang Lin's spell was simply too shocking. Even they felt their hearts skip a beat when they saw this. This is a pure ancient Dao spell, completely different from my celestial clan. Most ancient Dao spells don't display their full might in one go but follow a series of combinations before its full power erupts at the last moment. This person's identity is too sensitive. Why did the old ancestor bring him back? This person's cultivation looks ordinary, but with this spell, even I would have to retreat. If I were a bit careless, I would die. The cultivators of the ancient countries have amazing physical bodies. His physical strength must be extraordinary. Yang Lu's hair was scattered. She was surrounded by the 8 pillars of smoke that formed the firestorm. Everything was dim and the roar in her ears along with the suction force made her feel like her body was going to collapse. A sense of life and death entered her heart. What the hell is he? The smoke ring spell was already shocking, but I didn't think he had such a terrifying spell. It was too late for Yang Lu to think. She bit the tip of her tongue and spat out a mouthful of blood. Her jade-like hand formed a seal before grabbing the blood and mercilessly squeezing. Use my essence blood to summon the Great Soul Sect's ancestor, break the void. Soul Fantasy Origin. Yang Lu's voice was sharp and contained a penetrating force. Her voice pierced the firestorm and entered the ears of everyone outside. When Yang Lu crushed the blood, strands of blood mist escaped from the gap between her fingers. Soon, the large amount of blood mist gathered to form a blood road. This blood road extended to the endless void and reached into the unknown. A thunderous rumble echoed as if a connection to a strange space had opened at the end of the blood road. A blood shadow covered in endless resentful spirits walked out from that strange space. The moment it stepped onto the blood road, the world changed colors. It's the 9th ancestor. Yang Lu's Soul Fantasy Origin can summon the 9th ancestor. Since when did she have such a powerful will? The 9th ancestor, Luo Yunhai. There are murals in the sect depicting his life of slaughter. There are 1 billion resentful souls around him. He was the powerhouse of a generation. At his peak, the 9th ancestor challenged Grand Empyrean Dao Yi. He failed and was killed by the Grand Empyrean. However, seeing how outstanding he was, his soul wasn't destroyed and was allowed to return to the sect. Bursts of noise echoed across the world as the blood shadow erupted from the blood road behind Yang Lu. It was impossible to see the face of the blood shadow, and even its body was blurry. However, it gave off a heaven-shaking aura, and it took one step after it appeared. This step caused the world to rumble, and a pressure of killing intent spread out in all directions. The firestorm around Yang Lu was pushed back as if it couldn't handle this pressure. Even Wang Lin was shocked, and his eyes shined brightly. The Great Soul Sect's Dao spells are indeed amazing. The position of Elder is a great benefit to me. Whether it is the Soul Eye spell or this Soul Fantasy Origin, they are all powerful. I must learn them. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he retreated 3 steps under the terrifying pressure. Ancient Dao aura erupted from his body and a giant Ancient Dao shadow appeared behind him. This shadow quickly became solid and looked extremely real. It was wearing a suit of ancient armor and looked exactly like Wang Lin. While Wang Lin retreated, he withdrew his right hand and his index finger extended out. Devil Dao, life and death reversal. With this, Yang Lu's expression changed again. She felt the powerful life force in her body turn into death aura. A feeling of weakness spread across her body. When Wang Lin used the Devil Dao, the world was surrounded by a powerful death aura. All the countless people that had died in the Great Soul sect became part of this death aura. This death aura was like a sea, and when it gathered, it formed a sea of death outside the Great Soul sect. Roars echoed and it shrouded the area. Under this spell, the elders of the Great Soul sect all retreated without hesitation. Only those with high cultivation levels remained, but their expressions were serious. They looked at Wang Lin with deep dread. This death aura instantly gathered, but it was not over. As the death aura gathered rapidly, Wang Lin seemed to hear a faint roar coming from the depths of the earth. That roar was the roar of the Heavenly Bull. The Heavenly Bull was sealed under this continent. The Heavenly Bull was actually in a state of death. Its body was the earth, its origin soul was used to nourish life on it, and its soul was suppressed. However, its indomitable will still existed. At this moment, Wang Lin's Devil Dao reversed life and death, resulting in a shocking death aura erupting from the earth. As it charged out, the world seemed to be shrouded by fog. After this death aura rushed out and merged with the sea of death, the death aura formed a giant Heavenly Bull. The Heavenly Bull had a fierce expression and its eyes were bloodshot. It let out a shocking roar filled with its unwillingness toward death. The moment the Heavenly Bull appeared, the entire Great Soul sect was shaken. All the surrounding elders trembled and their eyes were filled with disbelief. Heavenly Bull. Is this the Heavenly Bull? He took the shape of the Heavenly Bull. This is impossible, how can this be? Even the old monsters that hadn't appeared and were only watching with their divine senses were shocked. They all flew out of their peaks and looked at the shocking Heavenly Bull formed by the death aura. Even some old monsters who thought this battle was not worthy of their attention were moved. In the deepest part of the Great Soul sect, on the highest peak, sat an old man. This old man looked exactly the same as esteemed Green Bull's essence true body. This was his original body. His closed eyes suddenly opened and revealed a rare sense of excitement. A soul that can trigger the Heavenly Bull. He is the person the ancestor talked about. Countless years ago, Ancestor moved the entire Great Soul sect to the Heavenly Bull continent and chose this main Earth Fire Vein all to wait for one person. This person can trigger the Heavenly Bull, this person is from the cave world, this person is him. He is not a person from the immortal astral continent, he came from the cave world. To some extent, he is very similar to the 72 beasts sealed under the 72 continents. The Heavenly Bull came from outside the heavens, not from the immortal astral continent. This person is the same, so he can trigger the Heavenly Bull's soul. The moment the death or a Heavenly Bull appeared, Yang Lu's face turned deathly pale. She didn't expect this battle to change into something like this. A roar echoed across the world as the death or a Heavenly Bull roared and charged at Yang Lu with the sea of death aura. At the same time, the blood shadow on the blood road behind Yang Lu raised its foot and walked 3 steps. With every step, Yang Lu's face became even more pale and the pressure from the blood shadow became even stronger to resist the death or a Heavenly Bull. Thunderous rumbles echoed. Although the death or a Heavenly Bull and the blood shadow weren't close, the pressure they created collided. The world seemed to reverse due to this collision. The blood shadow distorted and eventually disappeared, but at the same time, the death or a Heavenly Bull collapsed and the death aura dissipated. This death or a Heavenly Bull only contained a small part of the original bull's will and was far from the power of the actual Heavenly Bull. Even so, it was not weak. God, demon, devil, ancient Tao, no celestial. Wang Lin muttered and his hand extended out as a palm. The 3 ancient clan auras quickly fused inside his body. He then formed a fist and threw a punch. With this punch, the armored ancient Dao giant behind Wang Lin let out an invisible howl and threw a punch along with him. This punch landed on the void, but 9 ripples echoed. Wherever the ripples passed through, crackling sounds rang out. The sky, the mountain, the grass, the pavilions, and everything in range gave off a grey flash and began to petrify. Yang Lu coughed out a mouthful of blood and quickly retreated. Her expression had changed completely and her gaze toward Wang Lin was filled with fear. As the 9 ripples rushed toward Yang Lu, a roar suddenly echoed across the world. Enough. Yang Lu, back down. You can't be rude to the new elder. As for your fire peak, this old man will compensate you. This video will end here.